Hi everyone, this is Restorative Yoga, a little treat for you for the holidays. Go ahead and light a candle. Peter's going to be providing some lovely music, or dim the lights, bring down the shades. Be in a space where you can be nurturing and loving to yourself for a half an hour. The only thing that you're going to need is a blanket. Blanket that isn't too thin or too thick, that you can roll up like this. So you roll it up into a tube, a long tube, and the blanket is going to provide us some support for each of the restorative poses that I put you into. I'm going to show you the pose. I'm going to show you where the blanket should be, how you lie on it. And I'm going to take you through a few very gentle, nurturing, luxurious movements. And then you'll settle into a breathing awareness, release, relaxation. And then I'll bring you out of that relaxation into another pose. And then there'll be a movement or two just to adjust and to adapt to the support and to also lubricate the joints. And the movement will help you relax deeper into the final pose, and I'll do that throughout. And there will be maybe 5 shifts, 5 changes throughout, lasting about a half hour. So take a moment to get your blanket and then roll it up into a tube, and I'll join you in maybe a minute, 30 seconds to a minute. Peter, that's lovely. Okay, so the first pose will be lying on our backs, and you want your head to be supported on the blanket as well as your hips. Let me show you before you move. Nice to roll onto your side first and melt into the blanket. So the tube is supporting your spine. Your knees are apart, your feet are apart. You can adjust to what feels right for you here. And you'll initially begin with your arms softly to the side, and if that feels like it's too much of a stretch, you can bring the arms down a bit, palms facing up, or kind of in between where you're neither palms up or down. And we're going to do a little movement patterning while we're here. Now I'm going to sit up and talk you through this, so you don't have to look at the camera. You don't have to look at the video. You can just relax and follow my voice. Okay? So I'm rolling up now, and you're remaining on the blanket. So first, feel the support and the softness of the blanket from the base of your spine, through your sacrum, lower back, middle back, upper back, and head. Feel the weight of your head and the weight of your pelvis. Adjust your arms, play a little bit, make sure that you're feeling really comfortable where you allow your arms to rest. Feet are flat on the floor, knees legs are facing upward. You're in the hook pose. Heavy pelvis, heavy head, voluptuous belly. Slide your right foot along the floor, lengthening it all the way, and then slide that foot back up, returning to that knee bend. And then slide your other foot along the floor, completely lengthening the leg, and then slide that foot back up. Your breath can be as you wish. Just notice that you're breathing. You don't have to breathe in a particular way. And then slide your right leg down and up again. And your left leg down, lengthening it, releasing it. And then slide it back up. Wiggling like jello. Get a little jiggle going in your pelvis. Very light, jello-like. Let that jiggle move up your spine, into your belly and ribs. Can you jiggle your upper back and shoulders? How about a little jiggle of your head and your brain? And then jiggle down, starting with the head. Jello shoulders, jello chest and back, jello belly, jello-y pelvis, all the way down to the tailbone and pelvic floor. And then let that go. Bring your arms up into a circle right above your chest. Gentle circle. And then reach the arms a little bit longer towards the ceiling, the fingertips, and allow your arms to move like seaweed. Waves and undulations of the arms into the shoulders, into the shoulder blades. So you're feeling this wonderful, soft undulation in your shoulders, your shoulder blades, or across your chest, through your elbows, through your wrists and your fingers, and then let the hands and the arms drift down, finding the floor again. Bring your knees together and your feet apart, like bookends. Inner knees touching, feet wider. And begin the roll of your pelvis from right to left. Real easy, letting one leg fall in, rolling through, and then the other leg falling in. It's a bit like the pinwheel pattern. Side to side. Perhaps your head moves gently, very gently. There's not a lot of space on the roller, but a little bit of movement. Maybe your head moves opposite your knees. And then your head turns opposite your knees, all without lifting your head off the ground. Always supported by that blanket. And then let this movement go. Let the fingers drift down onto your belly, your elbows on the floor, your knees together, your feet apart. Settling into an ocean breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth like a sigh with an actual breathy sound that sounds like this. It's an H-A sound. H-A-A-A-A. So breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and a gentle And let that breath move out of you in a gradiated way. Not all at once, but gradually emptying the lungs. And then wait for the next breath. And we're going to stay in our relaxation pose, in our hook line pose, with our ocean breath for another minute. Feeling the breath rise up into you, fall away in a gentle, luxurious sigh. Let your mouth open. And continue your gentle breathing, your sighing, your letting go, your releasing breath. Transitioning now to side lying. You can roll off your blanket, give yourself a little push with your arms and legs, and you're going to position yourself with your right hip on the roller, your right arm under your head with a pillow for your hand, your knees and ankles and hips parallel and stacked, and this hand, your left hand on the floor. And you're going to do a couple of movements first, and then settle again into a relaxation with a specific breath awareness pattern. I'm going to show you this one. So you're going to slide your top foot along the floor and your same arm reaching, lifting, gathering back in. I'm going to have you do that 3 times. Then I'm going to ask you to extend your top leg and draw little circles on the floor all around. And then gather that leg in, placing this hand under the blanket for support and warmth and comfort, and then breath pattern. I'm going to sit up now and allow you to do this. So reaching your top leg long, big toe on the floor, and your arm and leg reaching away from each other, and then gathering back in, sliding back in. And again, we're going to exhale as we reach the leg and the arm away from each other. Inhale as we flow back in. Exhale, fingertips and toes reach away. Inhale, flow back in. And then simply slide your leg out and draw circles on your carpet or on your mat all around. Turning the leg in and out, getting a nice saturation into the hip joint, a nice fluidity. And then draw the leg in, stacking it on top of the other. Go ahead and slide your hand under the blanket for warmth and more support, and settling into your relaxation. Notice the little feeling of stretch or lengthening from your head to your pelvic floor as you inhale. That sense of lengthening through head and tail. As you breathe in, And then a gentle feeling of condensing or shortening through the head and tail as you exhale. And just enjoy this for a while, this lengthening and shortening of your spine. Breathing in and breathing out. You can breathe in through the nose, you can breathe in, out through the mouth, you can breathe out through the nose. Breathe how it feels good for you. Lengthening and shortening through the center of you. We're going to transition and do a very short child's pose. So again, use your arms, use your legs to push into the floor and gather yourself up. You're going to take your blanket and double it up so it's thicker. Placing it like so. This is where your head is going to rest for your child's pose. You're going to open your knees like so you have a lot of space for your pelvis, a nice crease in the ball and socket joint, and much easier on your knees. And then place the blanket so that you can rest. For the first thing, we'll be a little active, so you can rest your forehead like so. And my arms, see where my arms are? So the very first thing that we will do is a little series of body waves and then a 30-second relaxation in child's pose. So you'll begin with your arms like so, your forehead down. You'll gently press into the floor with your hands and sweep your head and face up, lifting up towards the heavens. Arms and torso, extending the spine, and then flowing back down as if there's a string on your chest, undulating through. And then you're going to reverse that by rolling up into flexion, starting with the tailbone, rippling up through your spine, into your extension, and then again flowing, rippling, undulating like a wave through your spine. So forward and up. Rippling down. Curling from the base of your spine, vertebra by vertebra, into an extension and flowing back down. Do one more, flowing face and head forward and up, arms release up into the heavens. Find the extension pattern, that open, glorious feeling of the chest. And rippling back down, hands onto the floor. And then reverse the curl, starting with your tailbone. Let your pubic bone and tailbone pull you, climbing up through the spine, into the extension, and then rippling back down, resting your head now, resting your forehead on the blanket, getting snugly and comfortable And you can bring your arms down, you can bring your arms in closer to your chest. You can wrap your hands around your heels. You can put the hands underneath the blanket. What's best for you? 30 seconds. In this breath pattern, feel your upper back widening towards your armpits as you inhale, and then narrowing and flowing inward as you exhale. Again, that glorious feeling of almost bird wings, expanding the ribs towards your armpits as you breathe in, and then narrowing and condensing on the exhale as you breathe out. Continue that breath awareness for 3 more patterns. And rolling up from there, using your hands, transitioning to side lying on your left hip. Make sure your hip has good support. If you need to tighten up your roll, do that. So lying your right hip on the roller, or left hip on the roller. Knees are stacked. This hand can come under as a pillow. Elbow resting, and this hand on the floor. Sink into the roller, snuggle a little bit, and then reaching top leg and arm. Flowing in, and continue doing that twice more. Perhaps this on this side will inhale as we extend the fingertips and the toes, and then exhale as you draw and gather back in. Perhaps inhale on the extension, exhale on the gathering in. One more time. And then that top leg reaches and you draw circles with the toes on the floor. Cryptic magic symbols and circles. Flowing through that hip, feeling that hip fold and lengthen, and turning the leg in and out. And then drawing that leg in, settling it down. Placing the other hand perhaps under the blanket, nice and soft and comfortable, adding a little extra support. And feeling the length again, the length from the pelvic floor to the crown of your head as you inhale, that little feeling of internal stretch, and then the exhale, a condensing or a little more hugging feeling, staying with that sensation, that pattern. One minute of relaxation on your side lying, hip supported pose. Transitioning to finally lying on your back again. This will be the last pose. Adjust your blanket to create the perfect neck support for you. You can begin with your knees bent in the hook pose. Begin that little wiggling action again, tailbone, pelvis, back, shoulders, head. And then if you'd like, slide down one leg and then the other in your Shavasana pose. Your arms can be resting palms up or fingertips on the belly. Or again, if you prefer, you can be in constructive rest with your knees together and your feet apart. Check that the roller is really giving you good neck support and head support. You don't want your chin falling towards your chest. You want to feel the natural curve in the back of your neck. So it's just a little support there. Settle into wherever it feels best for you on your back. And we're going to do 3 hissing breaths to release the breath. And we breathe in through the nose, and then we breathe out through the mouth with the letter S, as if we're saying Susan. Until there's no more breath. This is a gradual release of the breath. 3 times. Let's do it together. Breath in. Breath in. Wait for the next breath. And release it slowly from the top to the bottom. All the way down to the perineum. And rest in the comfort and the support of Mother Earth. Rest into your breath. Rest into your healthy and vital body. Allow your spirit to be easy. Your heart to be content. Relax your belly and your jaw. Feel the breath rise up from the floor of your pelvis to the roof of your mouth. Feel the wave of your breath. The dancing breath. Undulating breath. Take this deep relaxation and vitality and awareness and body love and nurturing into the rest of your day or your evening.